now we have Elemental. And Elemental is the newest film in the Pixar ever-growing filmography, and one I've been waiting to talk about because this is actually very good. This is the 27th movie in the Pixar filmography. This is directed by the director of The Good Dinosaur, Peter Sohn. This is written by him, Brenda Hsueh, Kat Likkel, and John Hoberg. It features the voice of Leah Lewis, Mamoudou Athie, Ronnie del Carmen, Shila Ommi, Wendi McLendon-Covey, and Catherine O'Hara. The simple premise is that this movie is set in a world inhabited by anthropomorphic elements of nature, and we follow fire elements Ember Lumen and water elements Wade Ripple, who meet and they fall in love after Wade is summoned by a plumbing accident at a convenience store by Ember's father, Bernie. As you can tell by the look of my face, Elemental, this was one of my most anticipated films of 2023. I first heard about the premise and I said, this is a weird premise, but I was willing to go along with it here. Two different forces of elements come to meet, and it's actually really well done here from the marketing and the trailers here. But I was really convinced on the two actors that was going to bring this. And I'm also a big fan of The Good Dinosaur. I know some people have not been too happy when it comes to... I know some people hated Tony Red. I know some people hated Luca. I know some people hated Lightyear. I enjoyed all three of those. But I look forward to this, and I was willing to go in optimistic. I was a little worried that this was going to be a little bit of a cop-out where it's only in the movie for 5 minutes. And I'm happy to say, after seeing Elemental, this is good. This is a great animated film. One, I think, is hugely underrated. A lot of people didn't want to go see this at first, but the word of mouth kept spreading, and the movie kept doing well at the box office. And also, this is really cute. First thing I could easily say about this movie is, in terms of the positives, is the direction and the story. I appreciate the fact that this has a really good story behind it about two different elements coming to meet. And for something as risky as Pixar, as was the first rom-com movie, I definitely admire that, and I definitely appreciate that type of story. It definitely helps when you have a movie like this, and you have something that is pretty much so fun and really integral and really interesting to the premise and to the story, and I love that. I thought that was actually really good. I thought it was actually really competent. The movie does have a social commentary about different elements and such, but I personally didn't feel like it was going down your throat. I didn't really feel that convoluted when it comes to a story like this. I thought the story was done very well, and I thought the story did have interesting elements of what it was setting out. And from the animation perspective, Pixar always gets really innovative with their animation. They have been since the 90s. And when it comes to the romantic film side of things, this is inspired by Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, Moonstruck, and Amelie. And the production team, they spent many hours watching point of view city tours and utilize the designs of each character appearance, particularly Ember and Wade, and they took you could tell why it took 7 years to do this movie, and it cost $200 million because the money is on screen. And I'm glad it became a sleeper hit, and the word of mouth continued to spread to make it worthwhile. So definitely worth the price of admission for that. The animation took 7 years in the studio and remotely during the pandemic, and it was all worth it. When it comes to our two characters, in terms of character development, I really was impressed with Ember and her story. It is a story that we have seen before, obviously, of course. I find it very compelling. We see someone who is defined by parental rules and trying to break away from that, and it's developed well enough here that I found myself caring for her. Also dealing with immigration and adapting to a new life in this type of world here. I very much like that. And it gave some complexity and sensitivity to Ember. Wade could have had a little bit more to him, but there was enough there in terms of his charisma and likability that made me really appreciate him. I really liked him, his development. Could have had some more development in terms of what they were giving for him to see a male character in a rom-com showcasing his emotions, but I think it's handled rather well. I definitely think it's very well done. And I think that is what really makes it worthwhile. Cinematography and editing wise and music wise by Thomas Newman, his fourth collaboration with them besides Pixar, Wall-E and Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. It's very well done, but the acting is really good in this. And Leah Lewis and Mamoudou Athie really does sell Ember and Wade. I very much like their performances, especially Leah Lewis. She's tough, she's quick-witted, but she's also has a sense of vulnerability to her. And she got this because of The Half of It, which was a great Netflix film, and Leah Lewis was absolutely fantastic in here. She is a gorgeous Asian I can't wait to see more of, and also she is stunningly beautiful. Mamoudou Athie as Wade, I thought he was very fun, and he based his performance on his ability to cry. He has a lot of emotional moments, and he cries at the drop of a hat. So he's a lot heavier and a lot more fluid, but I thought his performance was really good. Ronnie del Carmen was great. Shila Ommi was great. I love Wendi McLendon-Covey. She was fantastic. Catherine O'Hara was great. You also had Kerry Walgren and Fred Tatasciore and Scott Menville and Jessica DeSico, Asaf Cohen, Austin Madison, Jonathan Adams. So a lot of great voice acting here too. As far as any little baby negatives, I will say there's not really much of a villain in this movie here, but it was okay. I don't need a villain in every Pixar movie. Okay, I don't need it in every Pixar movie. I also will say it's a little long by 10 minutes, but for an animated movie, it gets the job done. It gets you in and out. We'll say that there is a little bit going on here, but it's not convoluted. It's like what Across the Spider-Verse. It's never convoluted. Ultimately, I thought Elemental was a cute and very great film. It has some good animation. I love the social commentary. I like the performances and the rom-com, which very much to my surprise worked on the romantic side and the comedy side. I was laughing a lot too. This worked for me. And aside from a few issues I do have, and while it's no masterpiece by Pixar, it is on the same level as Luca, where I definitely will say, while there's no villain and I do have a few issues with it, I can say I enjoyed it. And I'm glad the word of mouth did help this movie succeed in the long run, and Pixar did make its budget back. So, yeah, that's a win for them. And anyone who says Pixar can't make a good movie anymore, you're gravely mistaken. A really damn good animated movie, and I'm glad this lived up to my hype. I'm gonna go ahead and give this film an Epictastic. Well, that's gonna do it for the video that you guys just watched. If you'd like to see more, click the channel icon up here to subscribe for more. There's also a playlist and a video of your choice to watch. That way you can see what the channel is about. All my social medias are right here to all of them. As always, acknowledge me, stay Epictastic, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool as always.